Hi, this is Matt Nelson, your National Chair, and I'm bringing you today the 2017-2018 National Directives. I thought about trying something a little different and saying, hey, maybe try video and see if it would help to convey the message directly to those of you at the regional level who will take these national directives and really build your year around what we're trying to accomplish as an organization. So let's jump right into it. Last year we labeled the year the breakthrough, and it was because we had some what seemed to be insurmountable challenges to really break through. Some of the things around culture, around the transparency within the organization, direction of strategic plan, better definition of the strategic plan, the trust issues between the NEB and the PEB and world headquarters and the regions and you name it. And those things are issues that have been around NSBE for quite some time. Didn't expect to change them all in a year. But now that we've got a better grasp on what those are, I think that we've made strides to improve those things and we'll continue to do so this year. But now that we know what those are, we can't allow those to be excuses. So 2017-2018 will be the year no excuses, the year where we have to stop apologizing for a lack of effort or a lack of results and start to show results. And so from myself on down, I'm going to be trying to hold people accountable for the things that they say that they're going to accomplish, the things that they say they're going to do, because I think the membership deserves that. For those of you who were here last year who played a role in leadership, you will see that these first two directives are exactly the same as last year. Empower improvement. I think it's because the organization really needs that stability. Define our organizational DNA beyond our mission that we all know so well. What is NSBE? What is the student leadership model? And answering some of those big questions that we've yet to answer. Questioning the status quo. I always tell a story about when I came back to the chapter level at the University of Michigan chapter. The rule was we didn't eat pizza, and I didn't quite understand why, because in 2002, when I was a freshman, we ate pizza all day long, and it just happened to be a person along that line that decided they didn't want pizza anymore, and that became law. Well, if nobody ever challenges that, then we've been spending a significant amount of money for a number of years on food where people might have been okay with just some hot and readies. Challenge the status quo, question the status quo. Enable personal and professional development. For each of my board members, I ask them, what areas they want to grow personally and professionally, and try to facilitate that. So NSBE can be a conduit for that growth. We have access to a lot of resources and a lot of talented people who might be able to answer some of the questions that you have that might fall outside of the scope of your position, but you just want to know personally, right? Collaborate versus isolate, and I think that we've done a better job collaborating as a student governed organization with our professionals and with our headquarters staff, and I expect to see that grow as well. Adopt best practices from process analysis. I'm an industrial and operations engineer, and so just getting a little bit better at the things we do to be able to define what we do, to measure, to quantify, and then work on improving those, I think, are very important. And then developing a set of global core values, I think is something that will really help us. We've started on this process, and our goal is to have the board vote on a set of values by the time we get to NLC. And that will help to tell us if we're going about accomplishing our mission the right way. The second is application through data visualization, and data has been something that we've really been pushing in terms of understanding and consolidating the numbers. What numbers are important: membership, financial, conference registrations, and being able to get that to you in an easy to understand fashion. 3 years ago, you would get an Excel spreadsheet as a regional leader with just a whole bunch of data dumps. Now, I want to start seeing trends. What were the trends over the last couple of years, and what does the data really mean? Right? Establish the connection between what the numbers say and what we're seeing in real life. And so sometimes there's a lack of reporting. Everybody doesn't take surveys and things of that nature, but using the data as one piece of the puzzle, but also bringing in information about what we're seeing on the ground from our chapters and the individuals who interact with them the most, which are the regions, to see, does the data make sense? How valid is the data? Communicate the findings. One of the things we don't do enough is talk about what we found as an organization and how it connects to our decisions. And I will get up to see NSBE get to a point where we're making decisions based on insights that the data has shown us. Right? So um, we've done a lot of work around trying to figure out what's the best platforms and how to take our current IT infrastructure to get us there, as well as asking the question, come 2025, what does our infrastructure need to look like in order to be able to provide this level of insight using data visualization? And finally, the last one is one that's really near and dear to my heart, and it's the mobilization of the Engineering Exposure Army. To me, there's a couple of steps that it takes to really get someone excited about and become an engineer. The first step in that is that they have to be exposed. When I go and talk to middle school and high school students and they've never heard of engineering before, and I have a conversation about the impact you can have as an engineer, about how much money you can make as an engineer, about how much you can travel as an engineer, their eyes light up. But it's because nobody has ever even told them that this field exists and they have an opportunity to do so. So that first step is exposure. Now that doesn't mean I don't believe that students need to be enriched, that they need to be able to pass ACT, SAT. They need to be able to do all of those things. They need to be able to qualify to get in engineering schools, and there's other things that they need to do in order to retain them. But if we're going to accomplish our goal, I think we need a massive increase in individuals who are interested and know about the profession of engineering. And so I see us doing that in parallel. What I would like to do is have the largest coordinated mobilization of engineering exposure this country has ever seen. And it starts with the foundation. I just want every single person to commit to go out and talking to one class, elementary, middle school, high school. Just talk to one. But if we give you the tools to do so, it will be so much easier. So over these next couple of months, we will be developing the tools, whether it's websites, whether it's brochures, whatever the case may be, so that people aren't recreating the wheel when they go out into these schools and expose engineering. I also see this being bigger than NSBE. So looking at partnering with other organizations like the National Society of Professional Engineers, partner with the Greek organizations, partner with the American Society for Engineering Education, as well as your campuses, so that as our members are going out and doing this, our advocates are going out and doing this as well. Just imagine if we expose 100,000 students to engineering this year alone. That would garner some attention, and it would give us the traction that we need to go out and do the other things, a la enrichment, programming, and we would have a number of students that are ready to take advantage of those resources. So what do we need to do to get there? We got to draft the soldiers, and that comes through partnerships and preparing our membership to do so. And we also have to develop the tools, and that will be a collaborative effort between, ComZone, between programs, so on and so forth. Determine the infrastructure. We want these students to be tracked, and so, their gender, their age, their interests. We got to determine what metrics we want to track. We got to get their email addresses so we can continue to send information to them. And if they're underage or not at the age where they have email addresses, we got to get to their parents to make sure we can get the information to them. And then we got to go out and do it. And so I would love to see us executing this from September to all the way up to convention, and be able to come back in convention and say, here's this large number that we've exposed, 15, 20,000. We have emails, we have information, we got data, we got demographics. I mean, that would be extremely powerful as an organization. And then we got to debrief the results and just kind of share what we've been able to accomplish internally and with the world. And I believe that will attract attention, it will attract mainstream media, it will attract increased funding, and people will want to be and participate more than they already are. And keep in mind, people are already knocking on our door. Even through the 50K Coalition and a number of initiatives that we have, people are coming to NSBE to ask the question, what can we do to help you in your 10K by 2025 goal? And I think that this effort will really help us get there. So I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at nebchair@nsbe.org. I wish you all the best in your regional transitions, and if anything that I can do to help you, like I say, feel free to reach out. God bless you all.